Tonight, Scott Morrison's government on a knife edge as controversial MP Craig Kelly drops a bombshell, quitting the coalition. Facebook's about face. The tech giant switches Australian news back on, ready to cut a deal. A cash boost for millions, a permanent rise to unemployment payments, another $50 a fortnight. Rubbish truck tragedy, an elderly woman struck and killed on a Chester Hill street. Parking sign confusion taking on the mixed messages. Plans to drop the speed limit to 40 on a major Sydney road. And a rare and rusty 1950s Porsche set to fetch a fortune.
Live from Sydney, 7 News with Mark Ferguson.
Good evening. The federal coalition is in crisis tonight. Controversial Sydney MP Craig Kelly has quit the Liberal Party, shocking colleagues and wiping out the government's majority in Parliament. Prime Minister Morrison is now clinging to power by the slimmest of margins, but insists his government won't fall.
You are the one always outspoken, often an outlier, now out of the government.
The decision I made was with a very heavy heart.
He has said that his actions were slowing the government down.
Actions like posting discredited COVID cures on Facebook, supporting anti-vaxxers and standing by a controversial staffer being investigated for sexual harassment.
I believe if I'm to speak frankly and fearlessly and make the criticisms of some of these government departments that should be made, I can more effectively do that from the crossbenches.
It leaves the floor of the House of Representatives locked with 75 government members, 68 Labor and now 7 crossbenchers also making 75. And Liberal Speaker Tony Smith with the casting vote.
Today the government has lost its majority on the floor of the House of Representatives.
If the Leader of the Opposition is feeling so confident, Mr Speaker, about the performance of his opposition, Mr Speaker, well then perhaps he'd like to bring on a motion.
Senior Liberals say Mr Kelly had been warned the party was about to dump him from his southwestern Sydney seat of Hughes.
Was your pre-selection being threatened?
Look, we have to always put up with pre-selections.
Craig Kelly says he won't bring down the government, guaranteeing supply and confidence. Labor says Scott Morrison should have sacked him before he jumped.
It was the member for Hughes who sacked himself, who had the courage to do what this Prime Minister has declined to do for too long.
Mr Kelly says,
I hope that our Prime Minister Scott Morrison goes on to be one of the best and longest serving Prime Ministers this nation has ever had.
But he'll now sit as an independent, and other parties are already circling.
We'd always welcome someone with courage to speak up and say what they really think.
Yeah, if he wanted to join the Nationals, I'd love him to join the Nationals. I think that it's a decision that Craig would have to make.
His electorate's divided.
Yes, I did vote for him. No, I won't be voting for him again.
I think he's entitled to his opinion about the vaccine.
I think that he won't be missed.
Scott Morrison won't miss the controversies, but will miss his number. Mark Riley, 7 News.
Australian news stories will start reappearing on Facebook feeds after the social media giant settled its bitter dispute with the federal government. Facebook has now agreed to pay Australian news outlets for content.
Facebook users had 6 days of no news, then a shock status update.
Facebook has refriended Australia.
The Treasurer and Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg have spoken 6 times in 2 days. Now a truce over Australia's media bargaining code.
Australian journalists who generate original content should be remunerated for that. And that has been the purpose of the code.
Last Thursday, Facebook shocked its 17 million Australian users when it took down news sites and dozens of essential health and emergency pages along with it. A furious Facebook not happy it would be forced to pay for news content. Now the government has agreed to last-minute amendments to the code.
Will be important in terms of smaller and regional publishers. There's a mechanism there for a default offer for smaller and regional publishers.
In return, the news ban is lifted.
It's a big win for the many Australians who want to access news through social media.
Facebook said it's satisfied the government has agreed to a number of changes and we can now work to further our investment in public interest journalism.
This truce should keep everyone happy. Facebook will return to the negotiating table to work out commercial deals with media organisations. But while it will restore news pages over coming days, it won't rule out another about face.
With a company the size of Facebook, they need to be respected, but also they need to cooperate with our publishers and our government.
Google has already announced deals worth tens of millions of dollars. Mike Amor, 7 News.
Nearly 2 million Australians, most currently on job seeker payments, will receive an extra $50 a fortnight after the federal government confirmed it would increase the social safety net permanently. It's the biggest boost in 35 years, but comes with strict new conditions.
It's the Welfare Balancing Act those looking for work rely on to survive.
We're ensuring that it's set at a base that we believe is appropriate going forward.
A permanent increase to job seeker of $50 a fortnight, or $3.57 a day.
Just getting pretty much chump change at the end of the day.
That's not going to help no one.
From $565 a fortnight, or $40 a day, JobSeeker doubled with the COVID supplement at its highest. Now resetting to $615 a fortnight, or $43 a day. The income-free threshold has also increased, allowing recipients to earn up to $150 a fortnight without their benefits being cut. $75 a week, costing an extra $9 billion over 4 years.
$25 a week is nowhere near enough. $25 a day would have been closer to the mark.
We need to ensure that we have a system that is fair and sustainable for the people who need it and the taxpayers who pay for it.
The areas with the most single job seeker recipients with no barriers to work include West, Inner and South East Melbourne, the Gold Coast, South East Perth and Sydney's southwest. The increase to JobSeeker kicks in from April 1, but to qualify, recipients have to jump through a lot more hoops, including more job searches per month and more face-to-face appointments with employment services. And employers will now also be able to report those who are offered a job but turn it down. Rob Scott, 7 News.
2 days on and the first cracks are appearing in the nation's COVID vaccine rollout, with aged care residents on the Central Coast left waiting today for injections that never turned up. A number of facilities have already had their dates pushed back as the program struggles to ramp up.
It's the coldest hot property in the country, the ultra-cooled Pfizer vaccine, delivered door to door to aged care homes like here, Uniting Care Peakhurst. Shirley Sim, happy to be front of the queue.
Am I beating the Prime Minister?
Not quite.
Not quite.
114 residents inoculated here yesterday and today.
Are you happy for me to give you your vaccine now?
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
Some straight away signed their own consents as well, so yeah, very happy to have it.
I didn't feel a thing, it was wonderful.
But theirs isn't a universal story. The aged care rollout, handled by the federal government, is hitting hurdles.
For one reason or another, it hasn't happened. So it's frustrating, but they have apologised for it.
Peninsula Village, Umina, 300 residents promised their shots, but pushed back days over problems with vaccine delivery.
They were meant to be here at 8 o'clock this morning. We had a phone call at 8:30 this morning to say, sorry, there was delays and they wouldn't be at this site. The frustration is that aged care is just meant to cope.
But the Minister insists the issues aren't major.
My advice is that we're on track and on schedule.
The state government declared its rollout for quarantine and frontline staff a success.
We've been preparing for that day for a long time and everything went like clockwork.
And today the program doubled the vaccine output, 2,000 shots from the 3 hub hospitals.
Fantastic. I feel like I've had a boost.
Yeah, no, it was a lot easier than I thought.
Labor leader Anthony Albanese got his today, keen for a shot in the arm.
Does it hurt?
No.
And no reports to date of adverse effects from yesterday's shots. From the doctor who treated Australia's first COVID case last year.
A very mild sore arm, perfectly well. I'm back at work today, so no issues at all.
Anyone who gets a shot automatically goes onto the National Vaccination Surveillance System, AusVac Safety. They'll get a text on day 3 and day 8 asking if they've had any side effects. That information straight through to national health authorities. It's real-time safety monitoring.
It'll take about 3 to 4 minutes and it'll just ask you, did you have a sore arm? Did you have a temperature? Did you feel a bit off?
Another Pfizer shipment arrived in Sydney overnight, 166,000 doses, with 120,000 more due next week.
The consistency of supply has been strong and heartening.
Concerns, though, from the RSL for Anzac Day. Numbers for the march and dawn service are capped at 500, but only 80 veterans have so far registered to go.
Get in early, make sure your name's on the list.
While proposals for the SCG as an alternative location...
For a sit-down event on Anzac Day, you can have up to 3,000 people in New South Wales.
...rejected outright by the diggers.
We're not prepared to move it to a location where there is no memorial because I think it devalues the event.
Chris Reason, 7 News.
Police are still trying to identify an elderly woman struck and killed by a garbage truck this morning while crossing a road at Chester Hill. The driver remains in custody as detectives consider charges. A warning, our report includes video of the moments just before the tragedy.
She'd just left the shops when a garbage truck was on its rounds. The driver pulls a risky manoeuvre, a three-point turn at a T intersection, swinging out, then reversing onto the wrong side of the road before turning back into the same street. The woman was crossing and the truck went straight into her.
The driver has been oblivious to the pedestrian, and similarly, the pedestrian has been oblivious to the truck.
The driver tried to help, but there was nothing he or paramedics could do. Police still don't know the woman's name, only her reputation from locals.
Pretty sad. She's always walking around collecting cans, bottles from the school kids in the rubbish bins.
The 32-year-old truckie was arrested and taken for mandatory tests. He'd turned right through a no-right turn. Garbage trucks do have exemptions for some rules, but it's unclear if that's one.
The matter remains under investigation. These sorts of incidents are traumatic for everybody involved.
Locals say the streets around here are becoming more congested and dangerous. They've been calling for trucks to be banned from the roads at peak times.
I don't think rubbish trucks should be coming around at 8:30 in the morning. I think they should either be coming much earlier at 5 a.m. when there isn't so much traffic.
Police are in the process of laying charges, but for now the focus is on figuring out who this woman was and finding her family. Andrew Denny, 7 News.
A manhunt is underway following a harrowing road rage attack. Security cameras captured the moment this driver followed a woman into a cafe at Ultimo after earlier beeping and hurling abuse while she crossed the road. He's then accused of throwing her bike into the street and smashing her mobile phone. US President Joe Biden has held a vigil to honour those who've died in the coronavirus pandemic as America reached a horrendous new milestone. More than 500,000 people have now lost their lives, the highest death toll in the world. The new president's approach to the crisis a far cry from his predecessors.
The south portico of the White House. Lit with memories of 500,000. Candles and a moment's silence, the President reflects on the loneliness of dying from COVID.
So many of them took their final breath alone in America.
Hours earlier, American deaths on Johns Hopkins pandemic dashboard ticked past 500,000. The next highest, Brazil, less than half that.
The day will come when the memory of the loved one you lost will bring a smile to your lips before a tear to your eye.
Candles too in Washington's National Cathedral, and the bells. Too many dead to toll for each. They rang 500 times for each 1,000. Highlighting the pandemic, another way the current president has thrown his predecessor's approach in reverse. President Trump played down COVID's impacts, even as he fell ill with the virus. Today, the former president lost a legal battle to shield his tax records. The US Supreme Court ruling clears New York prosecutors to use them as they investigate possible financial crimes. In the United States, Tim Lester, 7 News.
He's now been in hospital for a full week, but Prince William says his grandfather, the Duke of Edinburgh, is doing okay. But relations between members of the royal family are not good, with the Queen now set to deliver a televised message on the same day as Harry and Meghan's interview with Oprah.
This was Prince William's first in-person engagement of the year, the first time he's been out in public since his brothers split from the family and his grandfather's admission to hospital. Visiting a vaccination centre, he was asked by a trusted veteran royal photographer about Prince Philip's condition.
They asked me if my family was well, and they are, and I asked him if his family was well, and they are. I also asked him how the Duke was, and he said he's good. So he said he's good. And I thought, well, you know, that's a nice thing to hear, isn't it?
Welcome news as the family deals with the fallout of Harry and Meghan's official departure while they spruik their podcast.
We're using podcasting to drive powerful conversations
that inspire, challenge and educate.
Appearing at a Spotify event, the deal worth tens of millions of dollars.
We created Archwell Audio to make sure that we can elevate voices that maybe aren't being heard and hear people's stories.
And the biggest part of this is trying to create this community of where you can share.
The couple's intimate interview with Oprah is reportedly being re-edited after the events of the past week. It goes to air on March 7, just hours after a special Commonwealth Day broadcast featuring the Queen, Charles, William and Kate, a scheduling clash of significance. Harry and Meghan may have announced their Oprah interview first, but they definitely would have known that Commonwealth Day always falls on the second Monday in March. In fact, their final royal engagement together and with the rest of the family was at that same service last year. This time, however, it'll be a Sunday TV night special featuring 6 senior members of the royal family, suggesting that the palace is planning on Prince Philip making it through whatever illness he has been suffering over the past 7 nights here in hospital. There is, however, no update still on his condition. Mark?
OK, Sarah, thank you. Sarah Greenouch in London. He's an anti-masker, a COVID denier and a serial troublemaker. Now, Joseph McHale faces the prospect of jail time, appearing in court today over 2 protests he allegedly organised last month without approval.
The people have the power.
But COVID denier Joseph McHale allegedly didn't when he organised illegal protests despite public health orders.
Joe, do you believe the protests were COVID safe?
I represent the people, and the people will not be deceived by these diabolical dipsticks.
The 36-year-old facing court accused of gathering his supporters in Parramatta twice last month, allegedly encouraging hundreds of people to ignore government advice.
Everybody, take your masks off.
Where are your supporters today, Joe? Where are they?
Worldwide.
McHale has a history of public disruptions. In 2017, interrupting an Anzac Day dawn service.
Stop the wars! Bring peace to the world!
Inside the courtroom, McHale was far more subdued, leaving his pro bono lawyer to enter his pleas. He's standing firm and will fight the charges.
If convicted, he faces up to 12 months jail.
I might be vegan, but you got to break a few eggs to make an omelette.
The charges will be vigorously defended.
The case returns to court next month. Natasha Squarey, 7 News.
Time for a quick look at the weather now. Angie, much cooler today.
Mark, temperatures were 9 degrees below average in parts of Sydney. In fact, you'll see they pretty well flatlined in the CBD. We started the day with a low of 19.8. That increased by just 1.5 degrees to reach a top of 21.4. It was a cooler day for most of the state, a top of just 19 degrees for Goulburn. The northeast corner was the exception though. Moree reached a top of 36, and right now we are seeing some severe storms within that pocket with warnings across that yellow zone. We have a trough generating all of those showers and storms, while cooler southerly winds and cloud cover are fueling the milder temperatures. A change is on the way tomorrow afternoon. The wet weather will filter beyond the northeast corner, pushing inland and right down the coast. Coming up, details on just how much rain we're likely to see. Mark?
Heading our way. Thanks, Angie. NASA is capturing the sights and sounds of outer space. Next, incredible video, the historic landing of the Mars rover. The moment a truck crashes into a car, what he does next may shock you. Niagara Falls out in the cold as freezing conditions cause a stunning spectacle. Parking fine fiasco, the complex signs leaving drivers baffled and how you can get out of paying. And a legendary music duo calls it quits, leaving fans shattered around the world.
7 News, brought to you by Industry Super Funds.
Pretty soon, the amount of super paid on top of our wages will go up. And up. And up. And up. All the way to 12% guaranteed. That extra money will make a big difference when I retire, put my feet up. You see, your future is even more super.
The celebrities and the kids are coming together.
Is this amazing or what, Shermo?
Sunday, these stars thought they'd done it all, but nothing like this. Oh! Then Monday,
the kids make the putts. The parents take the hits.
2 massive nights of extreme family fun.
This is Holy Moly!
Sunday and Monday on 7.
100 layers of flavour for that refreshing and delicious taste. Refreshing moments are just a tic-tac away.
When you update your home's air conditioning, you'll want air that saves energy. A lot of energy. Keep watching.
Check out Catch, where everyday Aussies are saving big on their favourite brands, like Ned's Telly. Larpong 58-inch smart TV for $569 and glasshouse candles from $25. For the brands they love, everyday Aussies, check out Catch.
For 6 whole weeks in autumn, tradition and style reign supreme. The Longines Golden Slipper Carnival and the Star Championships bring freedom from routine. From Rosehill Gardens to Royal Randwick, watch champions thunder past. Experiences you'll not forget, giving you memories made to last. Get your fun back on track this autumn in Sydney. Book now at theraces.com.au.
As a Lexus Encore Platinum member, your time is our priority. We'll park your car for you, loan you one when you travel, deliver you one when we service yours, even swap yours for a sportier one, giving you the luxury of time. Welcome to Lexus Encore Platinum, our owner benefits program.
Everyone's racing around looking for the latest 5G phone this summer. With Optus, you'll get it for the best price, guaranteed. It starts with S.
Update your home's air conditioning and save a lot of energy with Mitsubishi Electric. Works for me.
Welcome back. We have breaking news now, and the owners of Channel 7, 7 West Media, have reached a historic deal with Facebook, the first such agreement with a major Australian media company. It comes just hours after Facebook announced it would switch Australian news content back on its platform. 7 was the first Australian media company to reach a similar agreement with Google just last week. 7's chairman Kerry Stokes says the two deals are a strong recognition of the quality and credibility of our leading news brands and entertainment, and will enable us to continue to build our digital platform. While Facebook says this agreement brings the premium news content 7 produces from its newsrooms across Australia to Facebook. Dashcam vision has captured a terrifying highway hit and run near Newcastle. A truck merged onto the New England highway, clipping a black Mazda. It ricocheted off the guardrail before flipping and sliding across the road. The driver of the heavy vehicle then took off, fleeing the scene. For the first time ever, we can now hear the sound of wind blowing on another planet. NASA's rover Perseverance beamed the recording back to Earth. After landing on Mars, its incredible descent captured live on camera.
Their first look at the surface.
Burning through the red planet's atmosphere, this, the surface of Mars, as it's never been seen before.
The navigation has confirmed that the parachute has deployed and we are seeing significant deceleration.
Supersonic parachutes controlling the Perseverance rover's rapid descent, and every second of the $3 billion mission beamed back to Earth in a NASA first.
Our current velocity is about 90 metres per second.
Meters from touchdown, rocket engines kicking up dust, the howling conditions viewed from every angle.
about 20 meters off the surface.
The images a front row seat for those in control.
Touchdown confirmed. Perseverance safely on the surface of Mars, ready to begin seeking the sands of past life.
It gives me goosebumps every time I see it. Just amazing.
Along with the first video of a Mars landing and accompanying soundtrack, sensitive microphones picking up the first audio of a delicate Martian breeze.
What you did hear 10 seconds in was an actual wind gust on the surface of Mars.
The crisp sights and sounds a world away from this first image of Mars taken in the 60s, and a giant leap forward in the exploration of our planetary neighbour. In the United States, David Woywood, 7 News.
Boris Johnson has outlined what he's calling a cautious but irreversible roadmap to end Britain's harsh COVID lockdown. Almost 18 million people have now been vaccinated across the UK.
This programme of vaccination is creating a shield around the entire population, which means that we're now travelling on a one-way road to freedom.
Under the British Prime Minister's plan, all coronavirus restrictions will be removed by June. The deep freeze gripping parts of the US has led to a unique sight at Niagara Falls. Although it appears to have frozen over, the water is still flowing under a crust of ice. The spectacular display is not for the faint-hearted though. Temperatures have dipped down to minus 18 degrees. Electronic music pioneers Daft Punk are calling it quits after 28 years. The French Grammy Award-winning duo is considered as one of the most influential in the genre. The band's last full live show together was here in Sydney back in 2007. The reason for the split is yet to be confirmed, but has left many fans shattered. The drug squad has made a startling discovery hidden in Western Sydney. Next, a magic mushroom bust, how police found the huge haul in a Greystanes home. Plans to drop the speed limit on one of Sydney's major arterial roads. How much this rare Porsche found beneath a church could fetch at auction.
And in sport, why the Eels are in danger of losing two of their biggest stars.
It's news happening now. The trusted news feed you need. Every story, every day. Connect direct to 7news.com.au.
You think you're fast? I'm faster.
With backgrounds in parkour, elite athletics, martial arts and gymnastics. They are the hunters and our players are their prey. Whoa! Only the strong will survive.
The longer they last, the further they'll go.
Could you outrun a superhero? Ultimate Tag, coming soon to 7.
When is a garden more than just a garden? Well, this isn't a flower garden. It's their own private meadow. This is no mere entertaining area. It's a magical wonderland. And that's not a rooftop garden. It's their own little slice of heaven. Ryobi, for all gardens, great and small.
At Bunnings Trade, we make it easier to get your jobs done. We're open early till late on weekdays and weekends with a drive-through timber yard and trade and trailer parking so you can load up and get back to work faster. Bunnings Trade, made for the trade.
So much has changed recently, but one thing that hasn't changed is the need for security. With a Challenger Lifetime Annuity, you receive long-term protection from events that can affect your retirement. It can complement your super and the age pension, helping to cover your living costs regardless of what lies ahead. Which means you can look forward with confidence. Find out more at challenger.com.au.
Moving house. Take some stress out of moving with Origin's Move Promise. Phew. Call 13MOVE or search Origin Move. Origin. Good energy.
Window fully pinated? Some insurers don't have an option to fix it excess-free. But luckily,
Amy does.
You're with Amy.
Give chicken the night off. Serve up some Huon salmon.
Get out.
Exceedingly good cakes.
Welcome back. Almost 50 kilograms of magic mushrooms have been discovered stashed inside a secret lab at a home in Greystanes. With a street value of nearly $700,000, it's one of the largest hauls of the illicit drug in the state's history.
The quantity seized is a surprise. It's a huge quantity for a drug that's not overly common.
Police were tipped off by neighbours who reported a bad smell coming from the garage. A 26-year-old man is facing several serious drug charges. Police are offering $1 million to solve one of the state's strangest cold cases involving drugs, witchcraft, a curse and a victim described as a nice, friendly young man. It's now almost 30 years since Bill Roach disappeared. His family hoping the massive reward will produce a breakthrough.
William Allen Roach, known as Bill, was a part-time student at the University of New England, a knockabout 25-year-old who mysteriously disappeared from an Armidale street on New Year's Eve, 1993. A 2010 inquest concluded he was likely dead.
We live with the hope of closure, the hope to be able to grieve and to lay my brother Bill to rest.
Police conducted several searches, digging on a 700-hectare property, diving into riverbeds, hacking through bush, finding no trace of Bill, but plenty of theories.
There were people who might have been associated with him at the time that might have been involved in witchery.
An initial $50,000 reward was up to $100,000, now $1 million for the name of his killer.
This could be the last straw that New South Wales Police need to get a conviction.
Shortly before his disappearance, Bill attended a hippie festival and came away believing he'd been cursed by witches. Police, though, suspect a more earthly threat.
He fell into probably harm's way and got involved in the drug scene.
Anyone who can help is asked to call Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000.
So please just come forward.
Isabel Mullen, 7 News.
The slow rejuvenation of our fire-ravaged south coast continues, with hundreds of homeowners going through the painstaking task of rebuilding their lives from the ground up. The government admits there's still a long way to go, but one major piece of the puzzle is nearing completion.
Sprouting from the scars of the black summer, shoots of new life. The landscape turning green, new homes sprouting up where old ones once stood.
Everyone is so busy because there's so many properties being rebuilt.
89 homes were destroyed just in Lake Conjola.
There was a lot of evidence that we had to give to say, yes, our house did burn down, and they didn't always believe us, and that was quite traumatic. So I think a lot of people probably have given up.
Around half of those who lost their homes want to rebuild them. A staggering 450 development applications approved in 3 regions alone.
We know the pain and suffering that communities are still experiencing.
The Premier touring the area today.
It's kind of living in a state of stress and anxiety.
So it's hard to go through processes. While the state government remains focused on the road to recovery, it's also pushing ahead with other infrastructure projects in the region. Today announcing the new Batemans Bay Bridge will be completed months ahead of schedule.
The community said this would never happen, this project. Well, here you go, here it is.
In Lake Conjola, Amelia Brace, 7 News.
One of Sydney's busiest arterial roads is set to be slowed down, the state government slamming the brakes on Cleveland Street. The plan aims to reduce congestion to improve safety, but locals fear it'll just create a bigger problem.
49,000 cars drive it every day. Now the government wants to calm the Cleveland Street corridor and drop the speed limit from 50 to 40 kilometres an hour.
It would be a bit slower to and from there.
It's part of a push to prevent crashes and improve safety for pedestrians and cyclists. But residents fear it's their streets that will suffer.
So essentially the major arterial road now is going to be a slower option than the back streets.
The plan also includes removing the ability to turn right onto Wilton and Walker Streets, onto Young Street, at Crown and at Burke Street.
That forces, again, more rat running.
And according to locals, creates a bigger safety hazard.
But they're running down roads where there are kids playing in the road, there's no pavement, they're very, very narrow streets, they're crossing cycleways.
There are 3 schools along and just off Cleveland Street. One of our big concerns at the City of Sydney is that this is a traffic plan that's masquerading as a safety plan.
The Lord Mayor has contacted the Transport Minister, asking him to take his foot off the accelerator and engage in more community consultation before pushing ahead with the project.
We don't want to see local streets being used for rat running, so that's why Transport are having a look at that.
The public can provide feedback until next week. Amber Laidler, 7 News.
It's a very rare Porsche found underneath an old church covered in decades of rust and dust. It now has car enthusiasts buzzing. The classic hardtop might look like a paint-peeling bomb, but it's expected to fetch an eye-watering sum at auction.
Under the rust, a diamond. The 1958 Porsche 356 Cabriolet, a rarity among sports cars.
Porsche didn't make many of these cars in the day, and very, very few of them actually came here to Australia.
Its original features preserved, including a well-aged but largely intact interior, an engine that hasn't run in decades, up for auction tonight, and competition is hot.
We expect it may well go for anywhere from $150,000 to $200,000.
In 1970, the car was purchased for just $900 by Matt Harding's grandmother, Pamela, who traded her Volkswagen Beetle for it. For 25 years, the Porsche sat rusting under the family's Brisbane home, a former church.
I actually didn't realise it was so valuable. Like Dad always said he had this Porsche, and I was like, oh yeah, you know, just one of the wrecks he had.
And soon, not just a labour of love.
A lot of people would think that it's insanity to buy a car in this condition.
Once restored, these very rare racing wheels could sell for $100,000 alone. The whole vehicle, stripped, polished up, returned to new, worth $500,000. And then the current owner hopes it will be shown off.
When I sat in it, you feel like you're James Bond, and I think that's what makes it special.
Chris Marr, 7 News.
Some Sydney suburbs are thriving through the pandemic, with property prices still on the rise. Next, the surprising new data and why the Hills district is booming. Mixed messages, Sydney's most confusing parking signs, how to avoid paying fines. Going green, the popular items you'll no longer be able to get at Coles.
Soon in sport, the woeful performance from our T20 side in Christchurch, while our biggest stars are home playing Shield cricket.
And warming up tomorrow, but expect a few showers in the mix as well. Details on when to expect that change soon.
The pursuit.
Where you go, mate?
That leads to the catch.
On the ground now. Ground. On the ground.
But what this man has on him will shock these officers.
What's the go with the tea bags, mate?
The premiere special, Highway Patrol Battlers and Bullheads, tonight on 7.
I just come from your mum's house.
Well, it's been another sensational day of tennis.
And let's check in courtside with Dylan.
I'm financing like I've never done before.
Dylan, we are live.
ANZ's Financial Wellbeing Challenge breaks your financing down into weekly steps so you can get on top of your money.
Well,
search ANZ Financial Wellbeing.
For the love of giving them more space to move, get 100% cotton pointail bodysuits for just $4. That's wow. That's best and less.
Unlike other modems, Telstra's smart modem is cleverly backed up by Australia's best 4G network. So if the connection to your house stops, your home Wi-Fi won't. Switch today to experience Australia's most reliable home Wi-Fi with the Telstra Smart Modem.
Let me guess. eBay Tuesdays?
Best day to save on heaps of things, like hair straighteners.
Wow, it's really straight. Look at that one.
Dare to fit an old favourite? You have goals. Fat Blaster helps you reach them faster. Nutritionally balanced shakes satisfy hunger so you get results. Be the you want to see with Fat Blaster.
Is that your dog?
It's the neighbour's dog. Will my insurance cover this?
Budget Direct would have provided you with temporary accommodation for up to a year while they repaired it.
Budget Direct. Insurance solved.
We always thought Valia provided a feel-good start to the day. Then we discovered its special probiotics are proven to boost immunity and digestion, all in a deliciously creamy yogurt. Now we know why Valia is so full of feel-goodness.
With Host Plus, low admin fees and strong long-term returns mean more super for you. So whatever plans you had, your future's still waiting for you. Host Plus, we go with you.
Welcome back. Here's Finance Editor Gemma Acton with a check on the markets.
Thanks, Mark. Well, so much for predictions of a poor day for Aussie shares. After a slow start, the ASX 200 finished 58 points higher. And it was the Bank of Queensland that rocketed up 13% after securing funding for its purchase of ME Bank. Meanwhile, the tech giants took a tumble. The Aussie dollar has stormed through the 79 US cents mark, while oil keeps on marching higher, now at $66 a barrel. And while electric vehicle sales have been trending up in recent years, it is at a much slower pace than in many other countries. Last year, only 0.5% of cars sold here were electric. The average globally is 8 times that. Mark.
Gemma, thank you. A popular tea is being removed from supermarket shelves over concerns of chemical contamination. The recall covers Narada Organics lemon and ginger herbal infusion tea. Customers should take the tea back to the supermarket for a refund. The days of single-use plastic tableware for a picnic in the park are almost over. From July, Coles will stop selling all single-use plastic cups, plates, bowls, straws and cutlery.
We will have, as an alternative, FSC certified paper varieties.
The supermarket giant says it will prevent 1.5 million kilograms of single-use plastic from going into landfill each year. Sydney's roaring property market is showing no sign of slowing down. From the Blue Mountains to the Central Coast, Borkham Hills to the northern beaches, the outer suburbs are riding a wave of momentum, which is only expected to build as we move through 2021.
During the disruption of COVID, buyers decided the city's outskirts were in. 50 kilometres from the CBD at Box Hill, online inquiries almost tripled.
We did see a complete switch from people wanting inner urban living to wanting outer suburban living. A lot of it had to do with people just looking for more space, but also changes to the way people have been working.
Price growth led by the Central Coast, the Hills and Hawkesbury, Northern Beaches, Penrith, the Blue Mountains and the Macarthur. Biggest house price rises were in Wallara, Killara and Wyong, and for units, Balgowlah, Fairlight, Warriewood. According to realestate.com.au, the same areas will lead the charge in 2021.
While record low interest rates are expected to boost the property market overall, there are still some parts of Sydney that continue to struggle, areas hardest hit by the pandemic.
Where apartment prices fell as rents went down and investors got out. The worst performers, the CBD and inner southern suburbs, Blacktown, Inner West, Parramatta, from North Sydney to Hornsby and around Ryde. House prices falling the most in Austral and Burwood, unit prices in Rozelle and North Ryde.
The unit market will recover, particularly as jobs come back, migration starts up again and rental rates start to increase.
Paul Caddack, 7 News.
Sydney's confusing parking signs are leaving drivers baffled and costing millions in fines. And as many are scratching their heads, councils are cashing in. But there's a simple way to get out of paying. Don't miss that story soon on 7 News. But now Mel is back with Sport. Mel, could the Eels be set to lose another cult hero?
Fergo, that is the concern with rival clubs circling two of Parramatta's biggest stars. Details up next. Plus, a shocking start to our T20 tour of New Zealand, while our biggest names ply their trade in the Sheffield Shield. And one of the stars of big wave surfing's terrifying near-death experience and inspiring recovery.
Two of the most baffling crimes. These two double murders are being reinvestigated.
We think one man did all 4 murders. If he did, he is a serial killer.
Based on the most extraordinary true story.
It's easy to frame an innocent man.
The year's most highly anticipated mystery event.
It's like a ticking time bomb. Men like him, they always kill again.
The Pembrokeshire Murders premieres soon on 7.
Dirt, impurities? Try micellar cleansing water. Micelles work like a magnet, not only removing makeup, it cleanses dirt and impurities and soothes sensitive skin. For the cleanest skin every day. Garnier micellar cleansing water by Garnier, naturally.
Try Tip Top Thins. They're a softer, lighter lunch the whole family will enjoy. And each sandwich thin has 35% less calories and carbs than a medium wrap.
Every morning at 4:30, you hear the cooks hop on the floor. It's hard times in the mill, my love, hard times in the mill.
The car that looks after you, like you look after others. Volvo XC60 with lane keeping aid for everyone's safety. Volvo.
For tough pain relief, my go-to is Panadol Extra. Because if I don't, with my migraine headaches, I'm kind of useless in the kitchen. It's good to know you can still help out the people who need you. Together, let's rethink care.
Now's a great time to sort your health cover with NIB. Join any combined hospital and extras cover online by February 28 and you'll get up to $400 off your policy. Join NIB today. It's worth it.
And there is only one...
I'm alive. Just kidding. I'm dead inside, emotionally. But that's neither here nor there. There's still only one cure for hungry, thirsty, and that's Oak. With its full strength and full taste, it's full on. Oh, Oak. Kill hungry, thirsty, dead.
Nature's Way Beauty Collagen Tablets enhance collagen formation deep under the skin where beauty creams can't reach. Nature's Way Beauty Collagen gives your skin back its youthful bounce, glow and radiance.
Your destination for the hottest new shows is Stan.
I'm gonna live.
New seasons of the Stan shows you love. And exclusive new shows everyone is talking about.
Whose stories are worth telling? Never let anyone decide that for you.
Your Honour, It's a Sin, Clarice, RuPaul's Drag Race US, Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist, plus the Stan Original Series Bump. The hottest new shows are only on Stan.
This sport report is brought to you by Bet365.
Welcome back. Parramatta faces the very real prospect of losing cult hero Mike Acevo to a rival club. Off contract at the end of the season, the Flying Fijian is already attracting plenty of interest, and he's not the only big name hunting a new deal.
Pre-season has become like Groundhog Day for the Eels.
Ever since I've come here, there's always pressure to succeed because it's been so long.
It's 35 years since they last tasted premiership glory, and for skipper Clint Gutherson, it's now personal.
Sort of lights that fire even more because there's so much sort of responsibility on me as a player and as a leader and as a person.
It could be the last chance for two of their stars to go all the way, with cult figure Mike Acevo and Origin enforcer Nathan Brown, both off contract and haven't received new deals from the club. Acevo has scored 37 tries in 47 games, while Brown smashed his way into the Origin arena. But Para's young guns are keeping them on their toes.
It's always good to have healthy competition, especially we've had a big influx of young kids come through this year. They've really started to push us as older guys because you don't want them to beat you or make you look silly on the field.
There's off-field dramas on the Gold Coast, with the club facing a salary cap probe involving their star recruit, David Fafita. Fafita was arrested in December for allegedly trespassing on a Gold Coast property. He was released without charge. The Integrity Unit is looking into whether the Titans made a secret payment to the family involved and covered it up. Michelle Bishop, 7 News.
With Steve Smith, Pat Cummins and a host of other stars back here playing Sheffield Shield, a second-string Aussie outfit crashed to a humiliating 53-run loss to New Zealand last night. Captain Aaron Finch fell for 1, debutant Josh Philippi just 2, as swing bowlers Trent Boult and Tim Southey ran riot in Christchurch, reducing the visitors to 4 for 19 early on. Chasing 185, the Aussies were never in the hunt, bowled out for just 131.
Oh, no.
New Zealand clean up.
Had a good look at them, so weirdly we'll take confidence out of that into the next game and know exactly what we're coming up against.
Game 2 is in Dunedin on Thursday. The new Supercars season opener at Mount Panorama has got drivers buzzing. Nowhere is the excitement higher than in Dick Johnson's revamped squad, where Anton De Pasquale and Will Davison replace Scott McLaughlin and Fabian Coulthard. The testing's done, now it's time to go racing.
40-odd laps around Bathurst, flat out, which is what we love to do. It's our coolest, sort of most iconic track.
We've got the most amazing racetrack in the world on our doorstep. I've been saying forever, why on earth wouldn't we come here for a sprint race?
Of course, you'll see all the weekend action right here on 7. Big wave surfers take their lives in their hands every time they paddle out, and no one knows that better than Billy Kemper. The big wave world champion from Hawaii has been to hell and back in the last year after a brutal wipeout left him fighting for life on foreign soil.
Utterly terrifying to most.
We're going to stick with Billy, and Billy just takes a giant axe to the head.
But big wave chargers are a different breed.
It's honestly like the safest I ever feel. The fear is endless, but it's being able to have a switch to be able to flip, fear to adrenaline.
Billy Kemper spends his life flicking that switch, scouring the globe for huge swell. On one of those surf safaris in Morocco last year, disaster.
As I fell, I went up and over the falls, and when I hit, I knocked out. I just remember thinking in my mind, like, I think I'm paralyzed.
His life at risk, the Hawaiian was rushed to hospital with serious lung, rib, pelvis and knee injuries. Friends feared the worst.
He was like, I don't know how much longer I can do this for.
Getting home to the US for career-saving surgery was an ordeal because of the pandemic.
Countries were shutting borders like gates closing, just like boom, boom, boom. And that made it really difficult.
A medical jet was needed, and when he finally did clear US customs at the 5th attempt, multiple surgeries and months of painstaking rehab.
There's nothing more in life that motivates you than your family and your legacy.
Kemper's story is laid bare in a new documentary. Part 1 drops on the WSL website on Thursday. Nick Markham, 7 News.
Yes, Fergo, an incredible story and great to see him doing well.
One way to make a living, I guess.
Very scary.
Thanks, Mel. For too many drivers, it's easier to translate ancient Egyptian than to read Sydney's parking signage. Some suspect it's deliberate because misunderstandings cost them almost $50 million a year. But now a new phone camera app promises to end the confusion.
When it comes to parking a car in Sydney, the signs can be convoluted and confusing.
It is making it harder to park. Far too many people are getting fined when they're trying to do the right thing.
Like this mixed sign in the Northern Beaches, which shows parking and no stopping at the same time. And this, a bus zone, car parking space and loading zone all at once. New data out today shows frustrated drivers are being milked dry. Last financial year, New South Wales parking fines generated $192 million. A survey suggests a quarter are due to drivers misreading parking signs, costing them $48 million. You can try a legal challenge.
The writing on the signs is barely legible, so I think that's got a lot to do with why there's a real outburst.
A cheaper alternative might be a smartphone app being trialled, which aims to help drivers decipher council hieroglyphics.
We will find all the information relating to that space and whether you can park there or not.
The trial, funded by Transport for New South Wales, uses your phone's camera to analyse restrictions in real time and tell you whether it's okay to park. If you do park in the wrong spot, parking fines can add up, with the most expensive being $571, and you could lose demerit points as well.
It's something that's always been a bugbear of mine, that you try to do the right thing.
Samantha Brett, 7 News.
Now Angie's back with a forecast. Angie, some wet weather is on the way.
Mark, late tomorrow we'll see a few showers across Sydney, some decent totals too. Which suburbs are expecting the heaviest falls next?
Tonight on The Latest, friends again, Facebook in late-night talks to secure Australian media deals with the government back on side. How quickly will your news feed be turned back on? And no one knows rocks like this Australian scientist, what she's helping NASA discover on Mars. She joins us tonight. A lot happens after 7. Hope you can join me for the latest from 7 News at 10:30. See you then.
I want to be known as a good doctor, not a good autistic doctor.
Brand new The Good Doctor. Tonight on 7.
Stubborn wrinkles that just won't go away? Introducing new Pro-X by Olay. Clinically tested to target stubborn wrinkles from day one. Trusted by over 1,000 dermatologists, exclusively in Priceline.
My wife likes her office to feel like an Arctic tundra. The dogs prefer the surface of the sun. I'm all about habitable for humans. With my hair, everyone gets what they want.
Introducing Light and Easy's new Jumpstart Plus. Jumpstart Plus combines the proven weight loss results of intermittent eating with Light and Easy's delicious summer menu, plus a new app to track your success and help you achieve your goals.
Every week I've consistently lost weight, and the new Jumpstart program really kick-started that for me.
Light and Easy made it pretty easy for me to lose it. I didn't have to think about it. The weight just kept dropping off.
Fast track your weight loss success in 2021 with Light and Easy's new Jumpstart Plus. Jump online today.
Life happens. And you can't always see it coming. That's why Bupa's here. Because double bouncing will always be a thing. Because it's not just waves that break. Because small print is always on the menu. And because every chance deserves to be celebrated. We'll be there when life happens to give you the cover you need and the service you expect. Bupa, because life happens. Join today.
For tough pain relief, my go-to is Panadol Extra. Because if I don't, with my migraine headaches, I'm kind of useless in the kitchen. It's good to know you can still help out the people who need you. Together, let's rethink care.
This, don't we? Hey, Mum's fave. Yeah. Oh, God.
Well, I don't know any rev heads, so I won't be sharing this with anyone.
Share a Coke and a shout-out with all your mates this summer.
Woolworths Discovery Garden is back. There are 24 seedlings for your family to collect, plant and grow. You'll find lots of new herbs, veggies and flowers. Get one free with every $30 you spend. And discover the joy of growing.
That's why I pick Woolies.
What's this? Dude, it's Star on Disney Plus. It's got everything. The Martian, Taken, Pretty Woman.
Any zombie movies?
Nah, but it's got heaps of new stuff. Big Sky, Love Victor.
No zombie movies. They've got Con Air, Cocktail, Coyote Ugly, Witches, Aliens...
And vampires.
Hundreds of series and movies and yet no zombies?
Oh, hang on, my bad. They got 28 days later. Oh, and 28 weeks later.
Now there's something for all of us with Star on Disney Plus.
Sneaky Susie is up to something. Now I'm going to find out all of your secrets. Don't worry, I'm not here to snoop on you. Bit by bit, inch by inch, she's got him hooked. You coming? But why? Home and Away, this week on 7.
Tonight's news headline, 7 West Media has penned a historic content deal with Facebook. The social media giant forced a backflip on its Australian news ban. The federal coalition is in crisis after controversial MP Craig Kelly quit the Liberal Party. Police are seeking the family of an elderly woman struck and killed by a rubbish truck in Chester Hill. And a rusty 1950s Porsche is expected to fetch up to $200,000 at an auction in Sydney tonight. Now, with the latest on our weather, here's Angie.
Mark, it's an overcast night across Sydney with showers on the way late tomorrow. So today was fine, although cool. The CBD reached a top of 21.4 degrees at 9 o'clock this morning. It just didn't warm up for the remainder of the day. Now, temperatures for most centres hovered around that 21 or 22 degree mark. Katoomba was wintry, though, reaching a top of 15. The latest satellite image shows a trough over New South Wales here. That's generating some showers and storms, mainly in that northern pocket, and some severe cells are currently impacting that yellow zone, which takes in the northern rivers and parts of the northern tablelands. Tomorrow afternoon, we will see showers spreading beyond the north coast into northern inland districts and right down the coast. That will happen as moisture-laden air feeds into that low-pressure trough. Around the nation tomorrow, Brisbane expecting showers, 29 degrees. Canberra partly cloudy, 21. Relatively cool for Melbourne, 20 degrees. Hobart fine, 22. Adelaide aiming for 23, and a little bit of a reprieve for Perth, down to 32 degrees tomorrow. Across New South Wales, it's another cooler day for us, so 26 degrees forecast for Wagga Wagga, 28 at Dubbo. Coonamble should just make it into the 30s, 31, and we will see some showers develop mainly on the coastal fringe. Some inland centres will see a little bit of wet weather. Coonamble, Moree, Tamworth, all expecting about 5 to 10 millimetres. For the metro suburbs, most of the day will be partly cloudy, slightly warmer than today's conditions. A top of 25 degrees forecast for Mascot, 24 at Hornsby. Katoomba aiming for 17, with those showers picking up during the afternoon and evening. On the water tomorrow, southerly winds will gust around 15 to 20 knots at first, then shift to the northeast by afternoon and evening, reaching 25 knots. For the city, most of the day is going to be partly cloudy tomorrow, a low of 18 degrees, then warming up to 25. Those showers could amount to 10 millimetres tomorrow afternoon and evening. To the week ahead, heavier falls on Thursday, clearing for Friday, then pretty warm for the weekend with tops in the high 20s. So unsettled late tomorrow, Mark.
Here comes the rain, Angie. Thank you. That is 7 News for this Tuesday. We'll have updates for you throughout the evening. I'm Mark Ferguson from all the team. I hope you have a great night.
The celebrities and the kids are coming together in Holy Moly's most spectacular television event ever.
Is this amazing or what, Servo?
These stars thought they'd done it all, but nothing like this.
Oh!
And the moment that made national headlines. What happened to Denise Drysdale?
Doesn't look like she's going to be able to continue. Bradbury has pulled another Bradbury.
Then
8 mini golfers take the course. The kids make the putts.
Come on, Mum!
The parents take the hits. What sort of a distraction is behind this wall? There's Mum Michelle. There's Dad and Nan. Oh no! I'm out of here.
Sorry, what? We've lost a spider?
Sonia! She's gonna die.
2 massive nights of extreme family fun.
This is Holy Moly!
On 7. It all starts Sunday at 7.
This could be you.
I've lost 28 kilos with the help of Jenny Craig. My consultant taught me portion control, and that's the best thing.
Start today and save $30 on your first weekly menu on our Rapid Results Weight Loss Plan.
Call Jenny Craig now.
Energy. Internet. Mobile. Now all in one place. AGL. Progress for life.
What is greatness? It is constantly reaching for perfection. It's that voice inside, pushing you to go further. And never give up. It's what's inside that makes you great. Colgate Total, made for greatness.
Bring your family together with Optus. Share a massive 250 gigs of data per month across 4 SIMs with the Optus Family Mobile Plan. It starts with yes.
You don't have to quit alone. You've got family to call on, mates to count on.
and Nicorette's new spearmint gum, which acts fast and lasts. In fact, there are 141 fewer Aussie smokers each week. Now's the time to join the quitters.
HCF believe one of life's happiest times should come without financial stress. That's why we now have complete pregnancy cover with no out-of-pocket costs for eligible members in partnership with Sydney Adventist Hospital. That's uncommon care.
Could you be next to win big on Sunrise tomorrow? This program is brought to you by Holy Moly Golf Club, Australia's best mini golf, par none.